Welcome to Little Suburban Homestead. We are enjoying a fire here on the patio tonight. We have had a very warm day in the 90s, and it's about 85, 80 to 85 out here
It
now.
was 95, I think, during
hmm
the day today. It was pretty hot.
But we're going to be roasting marshmallows, homemade marshmallows
Yep, we'll do a
tonight.
video on that in the future. That's
Yep.
killer. Uh, Go ahead.
But what we're going to be doing this
I
weekend.
have to talk about the marshmallows for a minute. So
Oh,
they
yes.
don't puff up like when you're roasting them, like a store-bought mushroom marshmallow does. Yeah, mushrooms don't puff up either. Um, but they're healthier for you. They're still full of sugar and everything, but they're much healthier for you. They're natural. They don't have any chemicals in them and everything, and they're
Mhm.
pretty cool. So we'll make another batch and we'll do that in a few months. But anyway, so what are we going to do this weekend?
We're gonna make soap. I've been making soap for about a year, so I need to make. I do a tea tree charcoal tea tree soap for the face, and so I'm gonna be making that, and I'll bring you along so you can see how I do that.
Sorry for the camera movement here. We've got a little bit of a storm coming up here. We weren't supposed to get a storm at all, but there's some pretty black clouds from us. By the way, you might notice that the audio is better, and I apologize that the audio has been so bad in most of our videos. We finally got some Bluetooth microphones, and they work wonderful. I love them. You can probably see them. We each have one. 25 bucks off of eBay. You really couldn't pass it up. So anyway, we're kind of slow. We move into this thing. So anyway, um, I wanted to show this thing here. We have been testing different modes of off-grid cooking. The solar oven was great. It was wonderful, and we're going to be cooking with that more. Um, it works better than the moon oven. You probably never heard of it because it doesn't work. Marketing was really bad, and there's no heat generated. But anyway, so the solar oven works great. The sun oven. Um, I was really surprised I loved the dessert that she made. That was amazing. We should have shown the video of. Well, you had some,
Mm-hmm.
and now the thing with the solar oven we did find was that you need to let them cook longer. So that needed to bake longer. Anyway,
Yeah.
the BioLite stove. The cool thing about that is you just take big sticks and stick it in the top here, and it's fan operated. Once it gets going, the fan kicks on automatically, and so you notice it's not even smoking because as long as there's a flame there, you're not going to get any smoke. It actually burns the smoke, so there's no smoke coming off of this thing. It's very, very hot. But here's the cool thing too. You see the light down here, and you flip down this flap, and there's actually a USB port. You can charge your phone or do whatever you need to do. This thing, we got it probably, I'm thinking 08, 09. It was the very first generation. They were looking for people to invest in their company, and I thought, hey, what a cool idea. And so we went ahead and committed to buy one. It wasn't even in production yet. Subsequent generations, my son has I think the second or third generation, and it stays on, the battery part of it stays on a little bit longer. But we've been happy with this thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's been going now for all these years. And so what we have also is kind of a top plate, the cooking device that goes on the top here, so that you can still feed the wood, but you can cook all around it. And so we'll get into that a little bit more. But we're just having fun tonight, making slesses, as I call them, s'mores,
Mm-hmm.
and sless is s'more. So, but we'll definitely cook with this here in the future. So anyway, we just wanted to kind of start the intro there with that, and tomorrow we'll get into making soap. The history about the soap was she started making soap for herself because she was just really tired of the chemicals and everything like that was involved in commercial soaps, even the natural soaps. And I won't lie to you, making soap is not cheap. Although she bought everything new, I highly recommend going on like Marketplace or something and finding somebody that's getting out of the soap making business and buying everything that they have for
Yeah.
cheap. I would
Mm-hmm.
strongly recommend getting into it that way.
Yeah.
Anyway, she spent a ton of money, and I said, you need to start selling this stuff. So she does. She sells to friends, family, and some customers who are very loyal, and got to display it at our business and stuff like that. So I don't, it probably will not be a huge seller because, and
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of glad in
Yeah,
some
I'm keeping
aspects.
it small. I'm not
Yeah,
doing any mail
right. Yeah, no
orders,
email orders and things like that. So if you
but
want soap, you're gonna have to make your own because we're not gonna send it to you. So Anyway,
Sorry.
yeah. So with that, we'll go ahead and tomorrow we'll start the whole soap making process and everything. And that actually takes for the soap to cure takes what, 4 to 6 weeks?
Yes, 4 to 6
Right.
weeks. So
So
it's not a fast turnover, but
so we'll show you. Yeah, we'll show you a finished product.
mhm.
We're not going to pick this back up in 4 to 6 weeks, but yeah. So thanks for joining us at on our channel here. There, we'll just say it now tonight. Please like, subscribe, and comment, and we will see you tomorrow when we make some soap.
Welcome back. I am going to be going into how to make soap a little bit. I'm not going to give you all the steps, but I wanted to show you how I do this. And I wanted to also put a plug in for this book that I use, Natural Soap Making Book for Beginners. I found this on Amazon. It's by Kelly Cable. So really helpful if you're just starting and are interested in making soap. So watch for that and take a look at that. And I hope this is a helpful video for you as we do this today. Also, I wanted to just put a plug in for my husband's bread making. He has a wonderful video out on the channel on making sourdough bread. So this is our starter that we're getting ready to do today. So I just wanted to mention that. All right, so I have gotten all our oils in the pot here, and I'm going to be melting them on the stove. We do that over low to medium heat. And I use a digital scale to measure out the weights on those. We've got tallow, olive oil, coconut oil, and avocado oil in um, this soap that we're doing today. So I will be heating that and getting that melted, and then we'll be working with the lye after a bit. So I'll be getting on my protective equipment. So we'll be back. All right, so we are now going to mix the lye into the water. Thus, we have on protective equipment so that we can do this safely. And we recommend either goggles or a face shield and gloves, long sleeves, just protect all your skin. So, and don't breathe the fumes because it can be pretty powerful. And here we go. And this, the lye heats the water up pretty hot. So then we're going to be waiting a bit after this till the oils and the lye cool to, I believe it's 90 to 100 degrees.
And you never want to add water to the lye, because that's when you can have a major splashback.
Yes, it's always the lye going into the water. And I caught a whiff of that a moment ago, so and there is an issue with my getting on the spoon there. All right, so we'll be back in a few minutes. All right, so I am just checking the temperatures. It needed to be between 100 and 110, and we are just there now on both the lye and the oils. So after melting the oils and doing the lye, they are both at about 110 right now. So we are going to go ahead and get the lye into the oils and be mixing. I have a blender here that we're going to use. All right, so I'm currently mixing the oils. I just wanted to jump in here and let you know what I'm doing. So we mix for a couple of minutes, and then you let it rest for 4 to 5 minutes, and we'll come back and mix some more. And once it reaches a certain thickness, then we are ready to add the essential oils and charcoal, which I don't think I mentioned. We're doing charcoal tea tree soap for face today. All right, so I have gotten the essential oils in there, tea tree and lemon for this batch. So it'll be a really nice scent. And then I'm going to divide it and add charcoal to the half of the batch, and then I'll mix it all together after that. We are adding the charcoal. And we'll mix that up, and then we're going to try to swirl it. So we are adding a bit of the soap. This is a little cumbersome. And then I'm going to try to spread. It's gotten a little thicker than what I like to see, but should be okay. And I'm going to add some of the black. I'm just going to try and pour it down the middle. And you want to make sure you get it into the corners so you don't end up with bubbles out there. This will be the last of the white, and we'll end up with the black. By the way, I use this deep pot because it minimizes the splatters that come out and get me. I've had a few minor little burns just because of exposed skin, so it's best to take as many precautions as possible. Nothing serious, but I've heard of some more major problems, and so we're trying to be as safe as we can. And we're just going to end up with all the black on the top. And then we're gonna swirl, and in a couple of days we'll be able to cut this and we can see how it comes out. This is an experiment, so excited to give this a try. All right, so we have a coat hanger that we've modified to fit in here, and we're going to swirl this. We'll see how. I'm just gradually getting deeper until I hit the bottom. And we're done. And there we have it. And we're going to let that sit. We have to wrap it in parchment paper and a towel so it stays warm. And in a couple of days, we will check it to see if it's ready to come out of the mold. Hi, we're back. I'm going to be cutting the soap that we did a few days ago. It's been about 6 days, actually, a little longer than really necessary, but here's the soap in the mold. It's been curing for the week and is ready to come out. So I'm gonna get this out of there. And it's not ready to use yet. We're going to cut it, and then we're going to let it cure for 4 to 6 weeks, and then it'll be ready to use. Once that time is over, I will clean that out later, but here we go. So I've got this measuring tool, so I cut them the same length. That end one is a little bit longer than needs to be, so I'm gonna try to scoot that up just a little bit. Here we go. We'll see how the swirling job did. Don't know. There we are. How that turned out. We'll see how it is on the rest of it. Yeah, not as pretty as the professionals do, but you know, for a beginner, this is how it came out, and it's not too bad, terrible. And again, this is our tea tree, lemon, and charcoal soap for face. Really good for cleansing faces, and this is what I use every day. I love it. I'm going to scoot that down. Our end one usually ends up a little bit narrower than the others. Take that little piece off. It's really nice to have a tool like this to measure them out so they come out evenly. And then our last one. That is that. Now we're gonna just set them aside. I have a shelf downstairs, and we'll let them sit and cure for a month, and so then they'll be ready to sell at our business or to use here for us. So thank you for watching. This has been a fun experiment, and we'll see you soon. Like and subscribe. We'd love to see you on here.